Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Ariella. I make videos about medical school and my life as a second-year medical student. As you guys just saw, I just did some yoga. I got up at about 5:45 this morning and it's 6:45 right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop in the shower and get ready for a long study day. And I'm also going to show you guys how my apartment changed later on today when the lighting is just a little bit better because it's kind of dark in here right now. I changed up some things this weekend, so I definitely want to give you guys a look at what I did. Obviously, you can probably see my desk behind me, so that is part of the move. Yeah, shower time first though. Always make your bed, folks, so you're not tempted to get in it. Alright, so I'm thinking French press coffee today, but before I do that, I'm going to show you how I've changed the layout of the main room in my apartment. So as you guys can see, I got a TV. So everything over here is the same. I still have these cube organizers, this orange chair, the couch. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but I did get my IKEA nesting tables. They're not super great quality, but they're extremely light and easy to move around, which is perfect for me. Speaking of, I should probably scoot it out from next to the couch. There you go, that's better. Okay, moving on. This is mainly what's changed. Starting off, I left that moon phase thing up on the wall there, but I nailed it in this time because the command strips weren't sticking to this wall. This TV is from BJ's. I think it's a 43-inch TV. It's the one that has Roku built into it. And then this little TV stand is from IKEA. I'm storing just some blankets and knickknacks down there for now, just to make it look a little bit fuller because it looked really empty before. I've moved all my plants to the outside room, so I have my snake plant right there. Might move him if it feels like he's not getting enough light, because I think he's kind of blocked by that little spot there. Moving over here, we have these ladder shelves. These are from Urban Outfitters, and I ordered them quite a while ago. They ended up coming in earlier than expected, so that was pretty exciting. And I feel like I just needed a place for all of the little knickknacks and things, so I'm glad that I have that now. As you can see, my Monstera has a new home. It's getting outrageously large and I don't know what to do, but I'm very proud of it. And then on the ladder shelves, I just keep my gardening water supplies, some photos, my pothos plant, and a Bath & Body Works candle. And then on the top is all of these little mini microbes. Actually, I think they're giant microbes because an actual microbe would be microscopic. But these, my dad gets me them every year for Valentine's Day, so that's what those are. Okay, so moving on, obviously since we added the TV, my desk needs to go somewhere, so we've ended up moving this little dining nook just to this little spot right here, and then turning the dining area into my desk area. And so far I like it. The only problem is it's a little dark over there, but so far it hasn't really been a problem. I just left the musical decorations up there. The one thing I need to figure out is how I'm going to live stream, because if you guys didn't know, I've been doing a lot of YouTube live stream study with me's, and for that I like to have decent lighting and a spot to put my tripod, so I'm not exactly sure where that's gonna go for now, but this is what my desk setup looks like. It's very comfortable. I finally got my printer hooked up, and yeah. Okay, change of plans. My French press stuff is still drying, so I'm just gonna do a latte today. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick this in the fridge to cool down. And then also while I'm in the fridge, I'm gonna fill my 2 water bottles. I filled 2 of them because my fridge makes this horrible buzzing sound. But it really only happens when you open the door to the fridge, and I don't know anything about fridges, but I'm assuming it needs to turn on to keep cooling things. There you go. And since my desk is now right next to the fridge, I prefer to open it as little as possible throughout the day. I have a lot of stuff to do today that I'm really not looking forward to. So to start off, I have most definitely over 1,000 Anki cards to do, 1,349. In addition to the Anki cards, I also have to make a review guide for my surgery final that's coming up. I have to work on catching up on OMM lectures. I also have to watch the actual reproductive lectures that are scheduled today, so it's gonna be a busy day. It's gonna be a busy week in general, so I'm hoping to vlog a decent amount of my finals preparation so that you guys can get an idea of what a week for me looks like when I'm really grinding and trying to get a lot of work done. Because I feel like for the most part, it's easier for me to vlog during the more relaxed weeks because I have more time to obviously edit and set up shots and things like that. Not that I'm like a great YouTuber, I don't set up a bunch of cool transitions and things, but this vlog is probably going to be very raw, just cut and paste, probably not super aggressively edited just because that's what I have time for. And I hope you guys appreciate that I am making a solid attempt at vlogging during my finals week because these next 2 weeks are going to be pretty rough for me. Yeah, so I guess I should tackle those 1,300 note cards. I'm doing such a bad job at being productive, so I'm going to put my phone in my room and I will see you guys once I've actually gotten some productive work done. This will probably be my one and only trip outside today because today is election day. I've already voted, I sent in my absentee ballot, but supposedly people are preparing for things to be bad tonight. So I'm just gonna hunker down and, you know, try and get some studying done, not venture out too much today, which is kind of a good excuse for me to get a lot of work done anyway, but I'm gonna go check the mail and see if I got anything. Okay guys, just to keep you in the loop here, I did about 300 cards on Anki, and now I'm going to take a little break by doing some UWorld questions, and I'm gonna limit them to the male reproductive system only, so that way these questions that I'm doing can help prepare me for my final, which is coming up next week. And I might throw renal in there just because it's kind of weird. For some reason, our school puts a lot of the renal content that probably should have been in the renal block into the urology section, which I guess clinically makes sense, but in terms of the types of resources that I like to use, I'm having to go back to the renal and urinary system and find those. So I think I'm gonna include male repro and renal/urinary system in my little 10 question quiz today. Just gonna do 10 because I really can't afford to spend a ton of time going through this. And yeah, that's my plan for right now, and I'll let you know how I do and if anything changes. Okay, not bad, better than average. I should probably be doing better than average considering this is exactly what I'm studying right now, but sometimes these board questions are extremely different from the things that we learn in lecture, so I'm pretty excited about it. Okay guys, it's chef time because I'm really hungry and I've been craving this since last night. I'm gonna make chickpea salad. It's like chicken salad, but without chicken and chickpeas instead. And I know what you're thinking, that's really gross. But it's actually quite good. The chickpeas, when you mash them up, get like a really nice flaky texture. Don't knock it till you try it. I prefer this over regular chicken salad. So I'm gonna gather my ingredients and then I'll show you guys what I'm using and how I make it. Okay, so chickpeas, obviously, very important ingredient. Other things that I'm going to throw in are a tiny little bit of this onion. I'll probably use just a quarter. I don't like raw onion very much, so I'm going to use very little of that. Cucumber, again, I'll probably use about half of this and dice it up really small for some extra crunch. I'm going to be adding Kalamata olives and sun-dried tomatoes to give it kind of like a saltiness. I'm going to be adding some dried cranberries or craisins, but again, not too many of these because I don't want it to be too sweet. The main sauce part of this sauce, I don't know what it is mayonnaise. I'm using Hellmann's vegan mayo. You don't have to use vegan mayonnaise. This is just what I buy because I prefer vegan mayo. Dijon mustard, probably going to be adding a lot of this because I like it really spicy. And then in terms of my spices, I just have some sea salt and white pepper. Onion powder is going to be the majority of my onion flavor because, like I said, I don't really like the bite that raw onion has. And then some of these smaller ones, I have tarragon leaves, dill weed, thyme, sage, and cayenne pepper. Gonna strain these bad boys. We have chickpeas now. I just rinsed these until they were no longer foamy, and I shook them until they dried. This isn't really that many chickpeas. Can number 2. Alright, that is more like it. I'm already 7 minutes in and I haven't done anything yet. Alright, so I've got my chickpeas here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a fork, and this kind of takes some effort. I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but I'm just gonna like flake them along the side of the bowl, so I just kind of smush them up. I think the type of chickpeas that you start out with help a lot, so I like to use canned chickpeas because they tend to be softer than if you make them at home. Maybe I should like move you so that you can see what I'm doing. Also, I like to use Goya chickpeas. That's the brand that I prefer. I find them softer than normal chickpeas, or like Walmart brand chickpeas or whatever. And I just buy the bulk pack of chickpeas from BJ's that comes with like 8 of them because I eat so many chickpeas. It's actually a little bit concerning. And see how you're getting that like really nice flaky consistency? It's kind of reminiscent of like pulled meat. Rotate as I go sometimes. My arm hurts, and so I'm gonna fast forward through this part so you guys can see what happens next, but I still have to suffer through smashing these. You know what would be great for this? A potato masher. Oh, my delts. Wow. Am I weaker than I used to be, or is this just a weird shaped bowl? Should I become a cooking channel? I've gotten a couple questions about it. I used to be vegan for just over 2 years, and then I ended up having some weird stomach problems. Not because of veganism, I had like a stomach bug, and so I wasn't really able to eat very much after the stomach bug because I was still recovering. Sometimes it can take your intestines and your stomach a while to not react to certain foods, and so eating all of that fiber all the time in my vegan diet was really taking a toll on me, and I really couldn't eat enough calories in a day. So not that like a temporary caloric deficit is really a big deal, but I ended up starting slowly introducing some other products, and I was also traveling to Japan, and I have a lot of food allergies. Specifically, I have some pretty severe allergies to nuts and seafood, and so I didn't want to go to Japan and have to tell them, oh, I'm allergic to nuts and seafood and I don't eat any meat or dairy or egg products. I felt like it would just make my life easier if I made my diet less restrictive while I was traveling, and so I ended up doing that. And ever since then, I've just been trying to decrease my meat consumption in general for the environment, to save money. I will occasionally get a meat or dairy product out, and like we just went to Trader Joe's and I got some things that I like from Trader Joe's that do have meat and dairy in them, but for the most part, I attempt to restrict my meat and dairy consumption to only when I eat out. I don't buy any non-vegan groceries. Okay, I think this is probably good. Just to comment on that, because I think some people have noticed and were wondering like what my diet is actually like. So there's your answer. I'm gonna put this to the side and I'm gonna get started on chopping up the things that I want to go in in the salad. So we'll start off with this cucumber. I think I'm still just gonna use half. My arm is in like a lot of pain from doing that. Where's your little, yes. This is unfortunate. Just gonna chop this up super finely. My knife skills are poor, please don't look at them. Yeah, and if I had time to go to the grocery store, I would probably also pick up some bell peppers. They're really nice in this. They're super crunchy. I don't eat raw carrots or celery because I'm allergic to both of those, only in their raw form, but if you guys are looking for something else to add to this, carrots and celery would be great. Just trying to chop these up pretty small. Something that I've learned if you're chopping is that you want to tuck your fingers under so that way you can't slice it off. Oh my god. I'm just gonna dump these into the bowl and we'll mix everything together later. Does it freak anyone else out when you're watching cooking shows and they use the sharp part of the knife to scrape things off the cutting board? All right, so like I said, only gonna use, I'm thinking a quarter of this onion, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use the smaller side. And I'm gonna chop these into like kind of ridiculously fine pieces because like I said, I really do not like onion. Odds are I completely sliced my finger off today. Okay, this is all gonna go into the bowl as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull out a couple of these Kalamata olives, sun-dried tomatoes, and craisins, and roughly chop all of them. All right, guys, I just lost some footage there, but as you can see, I basically have everything in here. We've got the chickpeas, cucumbers, and all the other little mashed up bits. Time to start adding other things. So I'm gonna start out with the mayo, and I'm gonna do like a rough estimate. I don't usually like things super mayonnaise-y, so I think I'm gonna do 2 heaping spoonfuls, and we'll see how that goes. The chickpeas really have a lot of surface area now, so the mayonnaise is not gonna be a super strong flavor. So like I said, I go pretty heavy on the Dijon, probably about 1 of those spoonfuls, and we're gonna spice it up as well. So onion powder, touch of salt, some ground white pepper. The only reason I'm using white pepper is because the chickpeas are like a light color. I think it's entirely cosmetic. We're gonna throw in some tarragon leaves, dill weed. I like dill, so I'm gonna go heavy on that. A little bit of thyme. I'm gonna be more careful with these because these powdered ones can be really strong. Sage. And cayenne pepper. Okay, time to mix all of this together and see what it tastes like. I think this is probably the perfect amount of mayonnaise for me. I wouldn't want any more. So let's go ahead and give it a taste. Oh my god, it's amazing! Okay, wow. I can't believe I just got that first shot. That's literally perfect. I'm not gonna add anything else. Actually, that's a lie. It could use a tiny little bit of sweetness, so I'm gonna add just like the tiniest little bit of this dark maple syrup. I like to add this instead of just adding plain sugar, so we're just gonna do like a tiny little bit. And that wasn't really necessary. It was still delicious without that extra sweetness, but that's just what it was missing, so I figured I would add some. And I love the flavor of that dark maple syrup. Sorry if you can't hear me over all these squishy noises. I'm the only one eating this, so I can double dip. Holy crap, that is so good. So I'm gonna take this and prepare a sandwich with it. So I will see you after I have cleaned up a little bit and I'm toasting my bread. So I store my bread in the freezer, but I just have this loaf of Dave's Killer Bread, this kind, the green kind, I don't know. I like Dave's Killer Bread because I like the texture. They have a bunch of seeds in them. By the way, this is the literal worst toaster in the entire world. It's so awful. And it reminds me of the Among Us card swipe thing where you keep swiping the card and you make the adjustments that they want and then it doesn't get any better. So we'll see if I can do this first try. Nope. Am I doing something wrong? I'm doing it too hard. Sorry, I'm just excited. Sandwiches assembled. I just have some arugula on the bottom because I like the kind of bitter peppery flavor. Last thing I think I'm gonna do is drizzle some Frank's Red Hot on top and then we'll be ready to eat. I just added a tiny bit because I don't want the bread to get soggy. Last but not least, I'm making myself a cup of hot apple cider. Okay, I'm thinking taste test before my phone decides to turn off randomly again. So, here we go. It's perfect. It's so good. All right, guys, so I'm gonna try and get another 300 cards done before I switch to something else. I love apple cider. Okay, friends, it's 2:30. I feel like garbage. I haven't seen outside light all day. Having the desk back here is definitely going to be a problem, but I'm going to deal with it in the future. For now, I don't really have any other way to set up this room, so I'm going to leave it as is. But for right now, like specifically today, at this moment, I think I'm going to give myself a break because I have been studying all morning since like 7 o'clock. It's not that early, but I got up and I did yoga and my shoulders are feeling really tight, so I'm just gonna lay down in my room where like the sunlight is shining in and like absorb the vitamin D before I go back to watching lectures. Okay guys, so sorry I haven't updated you in a little bit. It's 6 p.m. now and I told myself I was gonna stop doing work at 7 because I need to edit this video. I don't actually know if I'm gonna stop doing work at 7. I would really like a little bit of time to myself to relax tonight. And the reason why I haven't really updated you on anything is because I've been in like a really awful mood since like shortly after lunchtime. I've just been feeling so burnt out. There's so much to do. I didn't get anywhere near close to done with my Anki cards. I wasn't able to finish that last lecture from today, so that's gonna have to be pushed until tomorrow. I wasn't able to review my OMM techniques, which I am being tested on tomorrow afternoon, so this is hopefully something that I will get to before I end the night, but yeah, it's been a struggle. I think I'm going to stick to stopping at 7 o'clock just because if I keep going, like I might actually go insane, and I have plenty of time to like get a lot of rest tonight and wake up early tomorrow morning and get some of that work done. There's just only so long that I can like sit or stand in this one spot and stare at the same material over and over again. So let me show you what I've been doing and then I'll sign off here. Okay, so here's the last thing that I'm doing tonight, most likely. We had a review session for our surgery course last night, and so we were given a list of things that we are expected to know that are bolded, and so I'm just going through and adding all of the little details to those things and kind of creating a study guide for myself. And as long as I do 3 lectures per day for the next 5 days, I'll cover them all before, or at least by Saturday. And my exam is on Monday, so that would give me all of Sunday to prepare for it. So I'm feeling okay about this right now. That's what I've been working on. That's why my note cards haven't been done. I think that's all I have to say. Sorry that I'm in a bad mood and this vlog is ending on kind of a low note. Sometimes it's just how it goes, and especially towards the end of the semester, I feel myself starting to get burnt out way more easily. Is that a word? More easy? Oh my god. I find myself getting burnt out much more easily because I've been doing this for an entire semester already, and now it's just like really grind time. Hopefully you guys still enjoy this, and if you like this type of content, definitely give me a thumbs up down below and subscribe if you want to come along with me and see how the rest of my finals week is gonna go. I guess we'll find out, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!